Cult of the Lamb, Animal Crossing's evil twin. Life simulation games. Build a town, invite friends, grow crops, and sacrifice the heretics. You may be used to Animal Crossing's laid-back style of gameplay. You may even be used to Harvest Moon's slice-of-life atmosphere with an element of a challenge. Now imagine those two games, but now Satan's involved. This game, alongside its wholesome partners, is certainly not like the others. It may look cute on the outside, but it doesn't take a keen eye to spot something sinister under the surface. You play as the lamb who's just been sacrificed. He's the last of his kind, and down on his luck. That is until a mysterious being known as the One Who Waits offers him a tempting deal. He offers the lamb the chance to live again if he creates a cult in his name. The lamb accepts, and the game begins. As the player, you can invite other animals to worship your cause. The more followers you have, the easier it will be to make your town grow. They'll help you harvest crops, chop wood, refine materials, or you can have them pray to your statue, which will unlock new buildings. While your followers are working, you can go out on crusades to recruit new followers, destroy heretics, and collect materials. Eventually, you'll build up enough power to challenge the cultist who sacrificed you. The gameplay may sound simple at first, but things get a little tricky once the faith meter is introduced. It's one thing to invite new followers, keeping them satisfied is a whole new story. If your followers are starving, you lose faith. If you die on a crusade, you lose faith. If buildings break or there's too much poop around, yes, really, you lose faith. If your faith meter drops to a certain level, your followers can turn against you and leave the cult entirely. How do you solve this? Well, you sacrifice them, of course. You can perform a ritual, murder them in their sleep, poison their food, or imprison them. So long as you stay in power, nothing can stand in your way. What I love about this game the most is its art style. 2D animation fits the tone very well and gives the game a charming and memorable visual design. The idle animation of your character is adorable, and I love the exaggerated expressions of your followers. You can tell at any point just where they stand in terms of your faith, and occasionally they'll even ask you requests. The soundtrack is amazingly atmospheric, and I even love the sound effects. They give the game so much life. The ability to name and design each follower is great, but I wouldn't recommend getting overly attached to them. At any moment they could ask to be sacrificed for the good of the cult. Even if you manage to keep them alive, they can also die of old age or of an illness. It's insane just how much content is packed into the game despite its small development team. The amount of things you can upgrade and decorate is enough to keep a player busy for hours. If you took out the game's story, then you'll have a darker version of a life simulation game. With the story added in, you get some action-adventure thrown in there. All these extra routes did unfortunately mean that upon the game's release there were some game-breaking bugs. As the player can choose to play non-linearly, there are of course some things that may go wrong. When I first played the game, I got soft-locked because the game wouldn't recognise that I completed a ritual, and therefore I couldn't finish the mission or go on further crusades. The developers have since addressed this issue and worked to fix all the bugs that have been reported. I've had no issues playing since it got updated, and it's likely they're still updating things as they go along. Indie games are unique in a way, because they wouldn't have been possible to create 20 years ago. Instead of having to pitch a best-selling idea to a studio, now it seems that if you know the right people and have the right skill, anything is within your reach. You don't even have to be a professional programmer to create a game. You can do it in your free time. Now that programming software is available and accessible, more people have been able to express their creative visions in a way that suits them. I love supporting indie games when I can, as in my opinion, most of them are better than studio releases these days. You can feel the love, dedication, and passion poured into every element. Cult of the Lamb is one of my favourite game titles of this year, and I never tire of playing it. Check it out if you haven't already.